Today I will show you how to prepare bread using fruit yeast water. My name is Stefano, welcome to my channel. Let's go immediately to see how to prepare it. It will be a very simple operation, even if it will take 6 to 7 days to have a complete fermentation. Just cut 150 grams of apples into cubes, better if organic, and place in a sterilized glass container. Add 24 grams of sugar and 500 grams of water. Screw the cap on the jar and shake to dissolve the sugar. Use the cap half turn and put the bottle somewhere warm, ideally 26 degrees Celsius. For the next 6 to 7 days you are going to shake the container twice a day. Unscrew the cap to let out any pressure build up. Screw it back on, then shake, shake, shake. After the first 24 hours you should already be seeing some bubbles. By the end of day 6 the water should be frothy on top, and you will definitely be able to smell the fruit fermenting. That means that you are ready to build your final starter and make bread. Filter the water and discard the apple cubes. Pour fruit yeast water into a container. Once it's made, slash it in the fridge. No feeding necessary, no discard, no wasted flour. When you want to bake bread, just mix yeast water with some flour from your recipe. Let it sit overnight and off you go. Since I'm very curious, I'm going to make a Polish with 124 grams of fruit yeast water and 124 grams of bread flour. Mix for a couple of minutes, cover and leave at room temperature, 26 degrees Celsius, for 8 to 12 hours. I use a glass container to be able to better observe the development of the polish. After 10 hours, this is what it looks like. Almost triple and well active. So I decided to start my bread. Pour 166 grams of water, 8 grams of salt, mix until dissolved. Add all the polish and stir until it melts. Insert 276 grams of bread flour. Mix first with a spatula and then by hand without kneading, but making sure that the flour and the water will be mixed together evenly, and there will be not too dry or too wet parts. For this recipe I choose the no-knead method, but you can use your favorite recipe. Can you use this starter in any recipe calling for sourdough starter? It will make sense to me. If you use a recipe that includes 100 grams of sourdough starter, you can replace it with 50 grams of fruit yeast water and 50 grams of flour. Put back in the bowl, cover and leave to rest for 2 hours. After 2 hours, make a series of folds taking the outer part of the dough and bringing it to the center in a circular motion. Cover and let it rest for 30 minutes. Repeat the same operation for a second time and rest for additional 30 minutes. Finally, I decide to do a series of slap and fold and form a ball. Cover and let it rest for 2 hours at room temperature. After the bag fermentation, find a shape in the way you prefer. Just choose the one you like the best. Place the loaf in a proofing basket, put it in a plastic bag and do the final proofing. As usual, here are 2 ways that you can take: at room temperature for 2 hours or in the fridge for 12 hours if you want to have a better result. Once the final fermentation is done, we are ready for baking. Remove the bread from the bag, turn it over in baking paper and bake in a preheated oven at 250 degrees Celsius for the first 10 minutes. Then decrease the oven to 200 degrees and continue baking for further 20 minutes, depending on the color you prefer. Remove from the oven, allow to cool for an hour. And here is the cut. Well, I guess it wouldn't be difficult to visually confuse it with the sourdough bread. The main difference here is flavor. The yeast water bread has only the mildest type. I wouldn't call it sourdough bread based on its taste. The flavor of this bread is more wheat forward, without the typical dominant sour notes. It tastes fresh and mild with a whiff of fermentation, the kind you might smell on a sliced apple. Will I make this bread again? I'm doing so right now while I'm uploading this video. As with any new venture, it takes time to nail the details. But I couldn't wait to share this yeast water starter with you. And this is going to be all for today's video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed, click like, consider subscribing, and I catch you guys in the next episode.